Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to A Grieving Mother's Journey. So glad you could join us. We have an exciting episode coming up. We do have a few people that are authors of other groups that will be joining us. They're going to share a little bit about what they do in their groups, and this is just to offer additional support to my members. As we all know, my group kind of touches on a little bit of everything, and I know there are a few of you in the group that you've lost a child like to fentanyl or suicide, things like that. So these groups do offer specific things like that, as well as we have Ebony back, who is our grief specialist. Ebony, I hope I said that correctly. She does have a group called Can I Grieve? And you guys are more than welcome to go ahead and join her group, listen in with what she has going on. I think it'll be a big help for everyone. So if you give me just one moment, it looks like I'm having problems with the Facebook. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm not going to keep you too long. Boy, I'm telling you, this was going good. I don't know what happened. Okay, so I'll work on that. I know last episode it worked fine. Maybe I did something a little different this time, but we'll get it together. So for those of you listening, you can always post it on the page later, and you can always go back and review it. So just a couple of announcements, then we're going to get started because we do have a few people coming on. I want to make sure everybody has time to talk about their group, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode. So before we get started, next week we have one of our very own members. Her name is Tanya Manley. She will be coming on and speaking about the loss of not one, but two of her sons. So please join us for that. Please, support her for that with that as well. I will be sharing that information probably sometime tonight or tomorrow and be advertising for that. So be ready, be prepared, and come on in and support her. And I normally only do 1 week at a time, but I do want to let you know we have another one of our own group members that's going to be joining us the week after that. Her name is Bobby Fernandez, and she's going to speak about the loss of her son. So please, join us and give that support. So we have Dr. Adia. I'm sure you guys all remember her, which is my niece. She has a group called Inspire Her. Now, she's not able to join us live tonight because she's got her plate full. So she did ask me to read a little bit about her group. And hopefully it's something that you guys would like to, to join or even just going from time to time. But basically, so it's called Inspire Her. And it is a faith-based network that supports women through coaching, mentorship, teaching, and discipleship. They use biblical wisdom to help in decision-making, navigating crisis, offering familiar guidance and or prayer support. It's a monthly group. Coaching and quarterly Bible study classes are offered to network members to help support spiritual growth, maturity, consistency, breakthroughs, stability, and more. So it is faith-based. I think that is an important group to be a part of because God has a lot to do with our daily lives and our healing. So, for those of you that feel that this is something that would help, which I believe it would help immensely. Again, it's Inspire Her, and it's by Dr. Adia. She will be back with us actually next month on the 27th. She'll be doing an episode on forgiveness. That episode was actually suggested by one of our group members, and their wish came true. She's coming back. She's amazing. You guys are going to love her. So let me go ahead and introduce our first guest. And that is going to be Tahita. Tahita is the author. Oh my gosh, I can't speak tonight. the author of Mobile Moms. So I'm going to let her touch on a little bit about what she does, and I'll bring everybody else on board. Now, I'm going to give you a cue when it's time to call in. If you have any questions to ask any of my guests tonight, anything about their group, please feel free to give a call in. The number scrolling at the bottom, 571-409-3400. Feel free to ask them any questions, or, just give some encouragement. I always encourage encouragement every episode. So feel free to call in. So let's go ahead and get started. Tahita, welcome to A Grieving Mother's Journey. How are you? I think your mic
Okay.
is
I was
there.
about
We
to say,
go.
yeah, I
Okay.
muted it so I wouldn't have any background noise. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
All right, so I'll jump in and get started.
Okay.
So, Mobile Moms, my name's Taida Washington, and I am the CEO and founder of Mobile Moms. Mobile Moms is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to mothers and families coping with the loss of a child. I started Mobile Moms, unfortunately, after the passing of my oldest son, Tajir Williams. He passed away from fentanyl poisoning October 7th, 2019, the day after his 21st birthday. Mobile Moms, we launched 2021 in the midst of the pandemic. So a lot of our resources were online support groups where we would meet online to provide resources and support. We also do workshops, meditation, journaling. We do a lot of brunches. We do a lot of support online and in person. We are an organization of women that are empowering and uplifting one another. Originally starting out with two members that were close friends of mine that also lost their son the same year that I lost my son. So, in a nutshell, Mobile Moms, we offer healing and rebuilding through our workshops. We actually have a workshop coming up, which is going to be a meditation and massage workshop in November. Our workshops are geared to healing and rebuilding. We know that nothing can replace the loss of a child, but
Absolutely.
our support is to say, okay, we know that we have this loss, but what can we do to heal, uplift one another, and move forward? So we do meditation. So that's the meditation and the massage workshop is coming up. I mean, I will make sure that you have that information. I met with our event team, and so we're looking at the venue, and we already have the massage therapist. We actually did a massage workshop last year for
Awesome.
Mother's Day. So,
Oh, that's nice.
yeah. So a lot of our workshops is just really just building the relationship with the moms and just getting that feedback from mothers that say, thank God for this support program, because I no longer want to commit suicide, knowing that it's other mothers like me that are
Absolutely.
finding ways to heal and rebuild. So in addition to our workshops, we also have a scholarship program in memory of my son, the Tajir Williams Scholarship Fund. This was the third year of our scholarship program. We have raised over $10,000. We have provided over 6 scholarships. My son was enrolled in college. Unfortunately, when he passed away, he was going into his second semester of college. So he was big on academics. So just finding a way to honor him in that way. We have our scholarship program. Each year we do a fundraiser, and we typically start the fundraiser between February and March, and then we disperse our winners between June and July. So I had the pleasure of meeting both of our scholarship winners. We have one at Hampton University and one at VCU this year.
So let me just interject really quick, because I know you mentioned that you have different workshops.
Yes.
So I mean, obviously those will be like local. So does your group have, do you do any virtual things for those that are not in the area? Or is that something that may be in the works for members?
So actually, we just had a virtual workshop with one of our members who's also in your group as well, Rebecca Wright. She's a
Okay.
crisis care specialist. She was a police officer for many years, and
Okay.
we had a workshop of finding comfort in crisis, where she
Oh,
provided like 10 basic survival tools on how to find comfort in the midst of, crisis. So I
yes.
do the online workshops, especially we did a lot of them during the pandemic when we
Okay.
couldn't meet in person. So
Right.
as we have our different events, we do have a monthly newsletter. Anyone that would like to receive our newsletter, any upcoming events, we do post that information in
Okay. Yes,
our
I've seen that.
Absolutely. So, yeah, to answer your question, we do virtual and we do in person. Now, because we are in the DMV area, a lot of our
Yes.
workshops are in either Alexandria area. We've done some in Falls Church, and
Okay.
so we're trying to expand. And Amina, I thank you for having nonprofit leaders come on, because it's all about collaboration, right?
Of
I, I
course.
had I had a young lady that came on the podcast who's in North Carolina. We met at the DEA's Family Summit last year. So I am trying to expand my reach and do some workshops in North Carolina along with her. So yeah, definitely we do the virtual thing, but I can tell you that virtual definitely helps because the reach, we have mobile mom members that are in
Hmm.
Canada.
Yes,
So,
same here.
it is helpful to have those virtual, but it's when we come in
Absolutely.
person. I mean, for example, last year for our holiday event, we did a brunch and then we did the color purple where we all wore purple and we went to see the color purple
Nice.
together. And when you get together, it's just a bond with the mother. So
I
we're
cannot wait for that because I have
absolutely,
that planned for my group next year, of course. It's going to be
yes.
like maybe a 3 day affair. I'm working on it. Me and my admins are working on it, and I think that's going to be amazing. I got results from the poll that I took, and I have a lot of members that are willing to do that. And hopefully, one day I'll be able to do twice a year, so I can go to another area to make it easier for others to
Absolutely.
join. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep me updated because collaboration, right?
Mhm.
I definitely know that we have some mobile mom members that would love to come out and
Okay.
join that as well. Um,
Awesome.
so in addition to the scholarship, the workshops that we have, we also, because of the loss of my son, I do a lot in the community far as fentanyl awareness. So we're in Fairfax County, so I work with Fairfax County Public Schools. I work with Fairfax County Department of Health. I'm on a panel with Fairfax County because, as we know, that fentanyl is a huge crisis. Is a huge
Mhm.
crisis in our communities as well as our schools. So I do a lot of community engagements, bringing awareness to the dangers of fentanyl. And we're always open up for collaborations, community engagements. I'm still building my events team and my volunteer team, so I can't attend everything, but I try to
Yeah,
attend as much as
absolutely.
possible because
Yeah.
it's definitely as school is open. I know that here in Fairfax County is a huge issue with the fentanyl, so I do a lot of community engagements to bring awareness to the dangers of fentanyl. Um,
Awesome.
Lastly, the last piece of Mobile Moms and the extension of what we do is our podcast. Pretty in Peace, Not in Pieces is a healing experience similar to yours, Amina. We present mothers and fathers that have lost children. We also
Mhm.
bring on community leaders, therapists, police officers, um, students, teachers. We bring on our winners from the scholarship program. Anyone that's in the community that's making an impact or a difference, we like to bring them on. But most importantly, giving a voice to the parents that have lost their child
Absolutely.
because they need to be heard, and the stories are so impactful. So we're up to
Mhm.
episode 55 of our podcast, and so it has been a blessing to bring on the families, bring on mothers, fathers, police officers, law enforcement, teachers, therapists. We do a mental health series as well to just provide information and resources through our podcast. We go live on Facebook from my Facebook page every Thursday at 8 p.m.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for all of that. It was very informative. I hope someone in my group can benefit from this. And this is in no way to where I'm not trying to push anybody out, but because
it's just an extra layer. It's
right.
It's just support.
Right. So I'm just trying to offer additional. That's why it's entitled additional support. Mainly because, if we have a podcast also every week, and it may not touch on something that you're interested in, or, something along those lines, but let's just say Mobile Moms, has something going on with what you want to talk about. The same thing with Wake Up Before You Don't. So this is a way for me to provide my members with additional support on the times that I can't. And we all need to kind of pull together and support one another, because I've always said from the beginning, grief is grief. Whether you've lost a child through gun violence, through overdose, through an accident, through illness, we're still grieving, right?
Yeah.
So it's a way for all of us to kind of support one another. So Tahita, I'm just gonna pull you down, hang tight. And for your listeners at the end of the show, I am gonna open the phone lines for you guys. If you have any questions for Tahita, please feel free to call in, or if you just wanna, call in and give us some kudos, we'd appreciate that too. All right, thank you, Tahita. We'll be talking with you shortly.
Sounds good.
Okay, so next we have Deborah. Hey, Deborah.
Hello.
So Deborah is the founder or the author of Wake Up Before You Don't. I like that. That's catchy. And Deborah actually not works with, but her group is based off of that terrible drug fentanyl. We all know it's, one of the main killers of our children nowadays. So Deborah, feel free to step in and tell everybody a little bit about your group.
Okay, like I said, my name is Deborah. I did start the group here about relatively new, about 4 months ago, maybe 5. But we are getting stronger day by day. We're over 500 now.
Awesome.
I had started the group, like you said, in memory of my son, Todd White Jr.
Yes.
He passed away of a fentanyl poison February 28th, 2020. Now, it took me, a couple of years before I even really started speaking out about the drugs and everything, because of I don't know, I just didn't want to put a blight on the family, because I've got 3 other boys.
Right.
And little did I know, they supported whatever I do. But we're based here in Knoxville, Tennessee. We do a lot. I go to events and set up.
Okay, good.
For Wake Up Before You Don't. We just done a big one on August 30th. We done our big event here in Knoxville at the World's Fair site.
Nice.
And everything. And I got to talk to a lot of people. I got to see a lot of groups that was there that, I see online that I don't get to see every day,
Right,
and everything.
right.
But not only does my group deal with, it was, like I said, I started it because of Todd, for fentanyl awareness. But, so like you say, grief is grief. I don't care if it is fentanyl, if it's from, too much alcohol or gunshots. It's grief is grief. And
Absolutely.
it's very hard on the families.
Yes, indeed.
A lot of families, I find it still hard for them to talk about it. And that's when I started the group, I started seeing that I mean, I have friends that have lost, their children to this, to the drugs
Mm-hmm.
and to other things and stuff. But they still will not talk about it, in public. They still find it hard to talk to family members about it
Yeah.
because the family member says, well, shouldn't you be over that by now? It's been a
Mhm.
year,
Well, I hate when
well,
people do that.
yeah. And so I do a lot of reaching out to the mothers and to the dads that have
Okay.
lost, their kids and everything, and just do one-on-one with them on the phone or here at my house. I'll go
Mm-hmm.
out and see them,
That's
go out and meet them
awesome.
somewhere
That
and
is
sit and talk with
awesome.
them.
So I
And,
know you
they,
said
uh-huh,
that you also have like events, in Knoxville, Tennessee. But same
yes.
question for you. So do you also have maybe virtual events for those that are not in your area?
I'm not for sure. That's something I would like to look into because, I had told you before that
Yeah.
I would like to do, a podcast. I know nothing
Yeah.
about how to go about doing it,
And I
but,
told you
you
I got
know,
you. I'll help you with that.
but I want to do, like live interviews with people. I do a lot. I've done quite a few interviews for news stations, for TV stations,
Wow. Okay.
uh, on the fentanyl. But we've just got to keep, the word out there. We've got to reach out to people and not only to people that have lost a child, but also I find it a lot to reach out to the addicts. Okay.
Mm.
I know a lot of addicts and I talk to them quite a bit. I also know a lot of people that's in recovery, that's been in recovery for years, and some of them that's only been in recovery for a little while
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. I just want to help them, because me talking to an addict, an active addict, put that way, uh, it's it helps me to understand, you know, what's going on with them and how to help them or somebody else. You
Okay.
know, a lot of people will shy away from an addict. They're human, you know, they're just like
Absolutely.
we are. They're just like our
Addiction
children.
is
Or,
an illness. It's a sickness.
yes,
No.
yes,
So I
it is.
totally understand. Yeah.
And everything. So I do a lot of outreach in the community for that. Uh, Everybody should know by now on my page that I don't care if you're an active addict, if you're in active addiction with alcohol, with drugs, uh, with whatever and everything. I'm there to help. I'm there to listen and everything. I've got resources that I can give you, that you could go and, make the phone calls and everything. I can make phone calls for you and everything. And matter of fact, I've had a few help get in rehab and everything. Uh,
Okay.
right now, my main thing, like, it's like in my own household, okay? I've got two alcoholics. One is my brother and one is my son.
Mhm.
And it's hard, hard, hard
I can imagine.
to talk. No, 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 just to try to help them
No,
and
I,
everything.
I have alcoholics in my family as well, so I
Yeah,
totally relate.
yeah,
Totally.
it's the hardest thing to do. So all I can do for them is to offer them resources because as far as talking to them, it don't do me no good. They just, it's like, oh, that's mom or it's sis, and everything. Yeah, she says she's been there, done that,
Keep
and
talking. I'm
everything. But do what? Oh, okay. But sometimes, it's easier for an outsider to talk to someone to try to help them than it is for somebody in your own household and everything, or somebody that you're real close to and stuff. Uh, But I'm here, like I say, I'm here to reach out to help anybody and everything. I can honestly say I've never had to deal with uh, anybody that's from a gunshot, you know, from somebody dying from a gunshot. I've never had to deal with that.
The
Uh,
worst.
I can imagine. I can
Mm.
imagine. I mean, here in Knoxville, it's like it's a war zone sometimes. It's just as bad as the drugs is and everything. Our numbers on drugs are going down and
Well,
everything.
that's a plus.
Yes, but the violence, the gun violence, is not and everything. It
I
don't
think
seem
that's everywhere lately. People are just nowadays. They're just there's no regards for life
yep,
nowadays,
none
and
at
they're
all.
just rampant, running rampant.
Yep, yep.
So, I guess to put in a nutshell, what do you think? What do you think members that come to your group would get out of being a part of that group?
Well, you can take. It's not a private group. It is a public group.
Same here.
Uh, but as far as getting something out of it, I would hope they would get peace of mind out of it to know that
Absolutely.
they're not the only ones going through it. And
Absolutely.
the more that you open up, the easier it is. You know, the
Absolutely.
easier it is. Uh, I'd love to see it grow, but then again, I wish we didn't have to have it at all. You know, I wish none of us
Exactly.
had to be in any of these groups.
Exactly. But unfortunately, it's people like all of us, your group, Mobile Moms, Can I Grieve, Inspire Her. We are able to provide something for these unfortunate happenings around us.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's a blessing that we can all do that. But like you said, I mean, I wish I wish we didn't have to do this, right?
Right.
But unfortunately, because, death is real, regardless of how, it happens. And with death comes grief.
Yep.
And that's where we all step in to try to, console and just offer support as much as we can. I mean, that's pretty much all we can do. Having a group is like having another job,
Yeah.
but we do it because we care.
Yeah.
I'm sure all of us are in it. Well, I know all of us are in it for a reason, right? We've all
Yep.
experienced or experiencing the grief. So we were just given the strength to be able to step out there to help somebody else.
Yes. Yes. And I'm very involved with a place here in Knoxville. It's called Metro Drug Coalition. They uh they do so much for the community. It's just they're the ones that's putting on the big events. Uh, they're the ones that's got the panels of people. You know, the mayors, the sheriff, the uh, I don't know, just different people. You know, and
Right.
everything at the events. And to me, you know, when I first started out, I thought I'll be happy if I could get 50 people in this group and at least help one person, you know.
Absolutely. That would be amazing.
And when it hit 500, it was like, okay, well, maybe I am doing something right, you know,
Absolutely, you are.
but
You're
I'm
here
still
now,
yet,
right?
I'm still yet, if I could just help one person, you
That's
know,
right.
I'm going to be happy. I feel blessed, you know, but
So,
okay.
well,
Join
so
us.
Well, we appreciate you coming on and sharing that. And for all you listeners, again, this is Deborah, and she is the author of Wake Up Before You Don't. She touches mainly on fentanyl, alcoholism, and things in that. But just like our group, she welcomes anybody that is grieving. So, Deborah, I'm going to just take you off the platform for a minute because we need to bring our next guest in. Hang tight for phone calls, okay?
I sure will.
All right. And all right. Next, we have a guest that's actually appeared on our podcast. And correct me if I'm wrong. I think I'm saying this wrong, Ebony, but it's grief specialist or grief counselor. You can let me know. But she is back, and she is the author of Can I Grieve? So, hey, how's it going, Ebony?
Hi, I'm so excited to be back. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So, I know, you were on a previous podcast, so people kind of know what you do, but I would like you to really kind of get into it. I think what you do is a great tool to help the grieving. And I can't stress enough, if you guys are listening, touch base with Ebony with Can I Grieve? It's going to really help you get through a lot. I don't want to say too much. I want to let Ebony go ahead and take the floor. So go ahead, Ebony, let them know what your group is about.
Yes. Well, good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday. I'm excited to be here. Like she said, my name is Ebony Gibson, and I am the founder of Can I Grieve, a company that was inspired by the personal loss of my mother, some other losses, and the pandemic. Created to be a safe space for people to be inspired, encouraged, and educated to rise above grief. I'm really, really big on educating people about the process, how to navigate that journey, and how to adjust, to a new normal, as we all have to do when we lose someone or something. I pretty much tell people I can cover anything in the realm of loss. I love how you guys were saying grief is grief, no matter if it's to a homicide, if it's to an overdose, because it is the same, right? The feelings may be different. And I
Exactly.
always tell people, the relationship is different. So that's why sometimes it's good to be mindful when we try to, say, I know what you're going through, because it could be, offensive to some people and diminish other people's journey. However, grief is grief. And so I'm just excited to show up, for all those who have been impacted by grief. I believe the experiences that we go through in life, they're meant to be shared with other people. So I always encourage other people, instead of asking, why did this loss happen to me? What is it supposed to be teaching me? What am I supposed to be learning about myself, about grief in general? And who am I supposed to be helping? Because we all have a story, at the end of the day. And I love how the other young ladies were talking about there's no greater reward or feeling than helping other people, knowing that they might have not had the support they needed, or just knowing they weren't even looking forward to waking up to see the next day. So a lot of times people always say like, oh, this is heavy work and stuff like that. And to me, it's not. It's just a gift, and
Yes.
some people have it, some people don't. And the people that have it, they decide to use their voice as a platform to help the others find their
Absolutely. You nailed it. You nailed it right on the head right there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And so we cover, like I said, anything in the realm of grief and loss. And so we do workshops. We just had a financial literacy workshop where we talked about the importance of having wills, trust, investing, and what does even a legacy mean? We're in a GoFundMe generation, and GoFundMe is great, but that's just, for right now, the immediate things. What about the later on things that people don't think about? It's not just the burial. Who's going to cover the rent, the mortgage, all of these different things. And so I was really excited to bring financial literacy workshops into my community, because I just feel like, again, like I said, we're in a GoFundMe generation, and we have to move from that into creating wealth, into leaving wealth,
That's awesome.
Yes. So I will be doing more of those. I think we're actually doing one. I want to say it's October 2nd will be our next event at Top Golf. So I'm in the DMV area, if I didn't say that.
Yeah, I was going to have you say that to them.
Yes. Yes, I am in the DMV area. I have done some webinars. Haven't really did too many workshops. I did have a breast cancer awareness workshop that was virtual a few years ago. But I'm
Wow.
always open if anybody has suggestions, or if you know would like me to do something for your group. I'm more than happy to,
That,
especially as we're coming up on the holiday season. I
yes.
wouldn't mind.
I think we talked about that, collaborating
Okay.
for the holidays. Yeah, when you were on
Okay.
before. Yeah, yes, that would be amazing.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
Let's do it.
excited. I mean, it'll be my first. I mean, you're kind of actually you, Tahita, Deborah, you guys are kind of
Season.
veterans, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
seasoned. So, I appreciate the collaboration with all of us because I think we each have a special gift to offer. And I think, with all of us here and including Adia's, it kind of covers everything when you think about it, right?
Mhm.
But yes, I'm excited about, doing something for the holidays and all that. So definitely going to be talking offline.
Absolutely, absolutely. Another thing that we do, I do annual boat rides for parents affected by gun violence. So we just had our second one this past Monday, and it was just amazing, for the moms to. I know,
Yeah, you were
I know
supposed to
how.
tell me.
I know. I literally, when I said it, I said, "Oops."
Oh,
I forgot. I'm so sorry.
oh, I know. I'm just a nobody.
No,
I
you
I
are
know.
not, and what you're doing is amazing. So definitely
Thank you.
next year, you will definitely be on the boat for sure. But it's just like I
Okay.
was saying, it's amazing because moms got to connect. Like I said, I'm in the DMV area, but now some of the moms I had, they were in Baltimore. So just to know that it's expanded
Wow.
beyond DC and Maryland is amazing. And while we were on there, we're like, why don't we do a boat tour around the world? Because we know gun violence is happening everywhere. It's not
Everywhere.
just here, it's everywhere. And so some of the moms, there was a young lady on there who I'm going to connect you with. She has a nonprofit. Well, she wants to start a nonprofit, but she has a support group called No Other Mother. So that is something that now these women that met her, they can be plugged into that group. So it's not just about,
Yes.
getting out on the water and relaxing. It's also about networking and learning about other resources
Absolutely.
in the community. And so that was really exciting. Outside of that, obviously, you did say it right. I'm a grief specialist and
Yay.
a certified grief coach. Can't just be a grief coach, got to be certified.
Certified.
Yes. And so I definitely help individuals navigate grief for 12 weeks. And if they want to stay longer, they can, but that is how long we
Absolutely.
take the journey together. And so, yeah, that's a little bit about myself and my organization. We'll be celebrating 3 years in October, and I'm just getting
Awesome.
started. The boat ride has really opened up my mind to doing more workshops and things like that. So I'm looking forward in the future to not just doing the boat rides, but to teach moms that have been affected, by gun violence, how to advocate for themselves, how to do legislation and get bills passed and changed and all of that stuff. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
excited about that. Yes,
Me.
yes, God is doing some big things. So I'm
Yes. Amen to that. Yes. Man, I am so excited. Let me bring everybody back on board here. And let's bring Deborah and Tahita. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
So this is really awesome. I so appreciate each and every one of you. It's just amazing. And I really hope that all of my members and your members too are listening. And I'm hoping that they'll take something from this and definitely collab. Deborah, I wish you were in this area because then we
I
could
wish
all.
I was too.
Oh my gosh! But that's okay. We'll still make it work. Maybe we can all pull together and do something virtual. But Ebony, Tahita, yes, I think we're all here in the DMV area, and it would be awesome to have like maybe even just once a year a big bang or something, to cover all angles.
Absolutely. Sounds
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Would
It
be
does.
awesome.
It really sounds good.
Yeah. And I appreciate all of you. I love what you're doing. And again, I'm hosting this, but I'm the newbie here. But
You're doing great.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you. And, I just appreciate the unselfishness. You guys agreeing to come on and just, helping whoever needs help. It's amazing. But it is 6:41. So I do want to open the phone lines. The numbers falling up, scrolling. For goodness sakes. Okay. Let me get it together. Whoosh.
Oops,
The number is, I know. I get so tongue tied sometimes. 571-409-3400. If anyone is listening, please feel free to call in if you have any questions for Can I Grieve, Mobile Moms, Wake Up Before You Don't, which is Ebony, Tahita, and Deborah. If you have any questions, and also I know Dr. D isn't here, but if you have any questions on that, I will try to answer as much as I can. But feel free. Again, she's an inspirational group, and we do have a caller, guys. Hold on. Hello, Butterfly.
Hey, ladies.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm good. I just wanted to call in and definitely give kudos to all of you. All, what is it, 5 of you?
Yeah. Well, 4 plus 1.
4 plus you. Yeah. So 5 of you. I'm definitely your child because as you were saying things just now, I was over here in my head saying the same thing as far as like, like basically them not like gatekeeping, like them being here and not asking for anything in return, just here to support you. Stuff like that goes a very long way. And unfortunately, like the world can be very nasty sometimes and everything is about money or what can you do for me? And you guys are pulling through as a team to help something that you can't put a dollar on somebody losing their child.
That's why I picked them.
Yeah,
they're all amazing.
It's great what you guys are doing, and I appreciate everybody too. Anybody that is helping you, you're my mom, and I have to deal with your grieving and watch you grieve and stuff. So, I appreciate these lovely ladies just as much as you do. But I just wanted to say, keep up the good work.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Much.
Of course. Y'all are dope. I'm in here cooking my little dinner. Got y'all on the little phone stand so I can see everybody working out.
Awesome.
And hold on, your son-in-law has to interrupt me. Hold on.
Just want to say you guys are great. And who run the world? Girls.
We run the world, girls.
All right.
Thank you, Brian.
All right. Y'all have
All
a
right.
good rest of the night.
Okay. Love you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. You're welcome.
Yeah, one of my biggest supporters, guys. She tells it like it is. So if she's supporting y'all, you got some really great support.
I love it.
That's
I love
awesome.
it.
Yes. Now, could you guys hear her okay? The phone?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. And I meant to ask you, Deborah. So in the beginning, awesome. So yeah,
Yep.
this whole and Tahita definitely, and also I know Deborah, you wanted to. So maybe we can put something together and do a quick workshop on the StreamYard, the podcast. I'm here to help whatever questions you guys have. Now, I'm really pretty much technically savvy. I do have a couple of degrees in IT. It's been a long time though, but I still have it's still back here. It's like riding a bike, right? So I didn't really have any help with this, but I figured it out. It's pretty easy. You guys will catch it just like that. So we'll talk offline and pull together and do like a quick workshop or something.
Sounds good.
I do have a question for Ebony.
Yes,
Sure.
ma'am.
Hey, the financial workshop, that sounds something like would be great here in Knoxville and everything. I'd like to get with you and talk to you about that
Okay.
to tell me how to do it and everything, because in our community, we have a lot of people that, when they lose their children, most of them are single parents.
Mm-hmm.
And, they really can't go back to work right then. Some of them can't.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I get out of it, what you were talking about, a financial workshop.
That's awesome.
I was going to chime in too, Deborah. I'm glad that you mentioned that because I was going to say, Amina, I know that you're going to give us all our contact information, but Ebony, with you being in the area, The financial literacy workshop was something that I was supposed to host it last year. I have my life insurance agent. I
Okay.
have my banker, and I would love for you to be part of that panel discussion too, because to your point, and we actually had our life insurance expert come on our podcast because to your point, unfortunately, too many burials are by way of GoFundMe when they should be through our life insurance policy.
Absolutely.
Right, correct.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, I had quite a few events last year and we wasn't able to squeeze that one in, but I would love to, I guess if when time permits, when you're able to talk to Deborah about it, because I already kind of have the people together and definitely will have you on the panel as well, because it's so important for us to have those important conversations, the elephant in the room that no one wants to talk
that
about.
no one wants to have.
Yes,
Right.
annuities.
Yeah.
It's so much that unfortunately due to lack of knowledge that people
Right.
don't know. So these financial literacy workshops are definitely helpful, much needed.
Yeah.
And so when you meet with Deborah, if you can meet with me as well, because I already have the people in place and I would love to get you on board as well, because it seems like that is a knowledge that you can provide on our panel as well.
So now you had mentioned something about, sharing numbers. So I didn't plan on doing that without permission. I know that we're all here and pulling together, but if you guys are okay, if everybody is okay with that, I don't mind sharing whatever information you want me to share.
Yes, that's
Yeah, my
Sounds good to
email,
me.
my phone number, my website.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
And
Yes.
just to go back to Deborah, to your point, I love how you said, unfortunately, there are times when people aren't able to take off from work, right? So then that now affects the grieving process, because we know bereavement leave is minute, right? 3 to 5 days, maybe
5
6
days.
hours,
Yeah.
Right.
We know there's FMLA and there's these different things, sick hours, all these things. But what about when that stuff runs out and I'm still not in the right state? I'm physically here, but I'm not
Yes.
here.
Exactly.
And I was a recipient of someone like my mother who had a life insurance policy in place, and that allowed me to cover the mortgage for the next couple of months. That allowed me to travel. It allowed me to cover her burial without me having to figure out and go on GoFundMe. And so many people don't even realize that when they don't have these things in place, it makes it complicated for the family, right?
It
Because somebody
does.
has to pick up the weight. So I would just love to even speak from that perspective too, about how not having these things in place affects your grief. My mother also had a will. If she didn't have a will, then I would have had to go to probate with someone else who felt they was entitled to her things. And so it's just the little things like that people don't think about. And yes, it's awkward to think about these things, but in all reality, when we leave, they won't be fighting over our stuff.
Exactly.
And why should we divide the family if we could just take our own initiative to plan our own stuff?
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And I've seen both sides. So when my brother passed, there was nothing in place, no life insurance, none of that. And that was a wake-up call for me, because we struggled to give him a proper home going. I saw how his children were suffering and stressing, so between, myself, my sister, and my aunt at the time, we pulled it together. It wasn't 100% what was wanted by some, but we provided what we could, right?
Yeah.
So that was the wake-up call for me. Thank God, because I then got insurance for my kids. Not thinking, a few years later, my son is going to die, right? So I can't stress enough how important it is to have life insurance, especially for your younger ones. It's not expensive. Of course, I have it through my job, but you don't have to have a job to get it. But the thing of it is that it makes so much difference. It takes so much stress. It's already stressful enough planning a funeral, especially for your child, right? But the fact that I was able to, I didn't have to pick and choose. Well, do I just do cremation? Do I do a visual for people? I didn't have to do that. I was able to do both. and
Right.
then some
Yes.
because of the insurance that I had. So, I know we're speaking to grieving moms and dads, so it's kind of already happened. But if if you have other children, I'm not saying prepare for it, but you should still have it so that
Absolutely.
if you went through that, where there was no insurance involved, you won't have to do that again because it's excruciating. You're already going through excruciating pain from losing a child, and now you have to deal with this, and there's no other way around it. You
Right.
have to deal with it, right? So yeah, that's really important, and I think that would be an awesome workshop for Deborah's group, as well as collaborating with Tahita. And maybe later on, I would like to bring something like that in. Maybe later time, or when we collaborate and do like a big event, we can set something up with that as well.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing is collaboration.
Yeah.
We can only do, but so much. But one thing that I've learned about collaboration, when we partner with other people, we reach a larger audience, and it takes the stress
Absolutely.
off of
Yes.
us, and
Yes.
sometimes we, get in a space where it's like, well, we want the spotlight, we want our company to shine, but it's like when you realize that it's bigger than you and you partner with these other people, what you were set out to do, you will do that and then some.
Exactly.
Collaboration.
Exactly. It's the unselfishness about it. There was something that I wanted to mention, and it kind of just slipped my mind, but it'll probably come back. But just quick moment. I'm sorry, guys. We didn't mean to take any time away from you. The lines are still open, even though we're talking. We still have some time left. So if you want to give us a call, please do 571-409-3400. Call in. You can ask questions to any members, any of the authors of the groups that we've mentioned. If you want to just call and give some encouragement. Like I said, having a group is like having a second job. Not a complaint whatsoever, but it does take a little bit of work. So if you wanted to just kind of, call in and say thank you to any of our guests tonight, that would be awesome as well. So I guess again, I do apologize. The Facebook, I think I know what I did. So I promise, guys, next week it'll be working again. I know I had it working last week, but I think I forgot to do a little something. It's a little bit of work because Facebook doesn't allow third-party streaming anymore. Just in group pages, they took that away. So I have to do a lot of toggling and things like that to make it work for you. And I think I forgot something tonight, but I'll go ahead and post it once it's finished. Anybody can go back. It'll be there. It's not going anywhere. It's going to be on YouTube. If there's a group that really, catches your eye and you can't remember what was said, just click on it when it's done. And oh, you know what? And I did forget one thing. So we have comments, guys. Sorry. And let me read the comments of what people say. And I'm so sorry, viewers. I don't know what's wrong with me today, but brain fog. I get, since my son died, I get a lot of that. So please forgive me. So let's start. Well, Kay, who called, she said, hey, ladies. She said, these collabs are awesome. You never know what a grieving mother needs. You are so right. Hey, Sharika, it's about time. Thank you for joining. And she just backs it up and says facts. And then we have Crystal, who is my other admin. She said, yes, life insurance is important. Yes, that's for sure. And then she also says, you ladies did an amazing job. Thank you for all you do. So, and I usually read the comments before we get rattled in, but I'm just a little off tonight, guys. Do you guys get brain fog?
All the time.
All the time.
It's totally normal. It is totally normal.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
On a daily.
Okay.
Yeah, never had that issue prior to the passing of my son. So it's definitely one of the things that happens.
Okay. Because I'm like, all right, am I stupid? I mean, I knew in the beginning, but it just every now and then it's just like
normal. Yep.
Normal. Okay. So we have about 5 minutes left. So Tahita, do you want to take 1 minute and just maybe kind of close up with regarding your group?
Sure. Well, first, I want to say, Amina, thank you so much for having me on tonight.
You're very
Ebony,
welcome.
God bless the work that you're doing. I'm looking forward to working with you, Deborah. You know, our story is similar with the fentanyl crisis. Definitely look forward to working with you as well. You know,
Thank
I'm in the Washington, D.C. area. I am connected with, oh, sorry about that. I am connected
Car
with
horn.
I am connected. So I did participate in the DEA's National Family Summit. I know that the third annual one is next month, so it's cutting really close. But I highly recommend if you can make a trip to Arlington, Virginia headquarters. I'm not sure if you already have your son on the Faces of Fentanyl, but I can tell you that that event is a 2-day conference that they have every year. I will highly recommend you come out and participate in that. And if you need to be connected to like the administration team that sets everyone up, I'll be happy to get you connected with them.
Well, thank you.
And Deborah, would you like to say a couple things about your group to our listeners before we close up shop?
Just to come join us. Let me know that you're there. Ask questions because we can't help if you don't ask the questions. And you
Absolutely.
can always, you know, message me. You don't have to, if you're not feeling like you can come out and say it on the group page, you can always message me personally and
Absolutely.
everything. It may take, you know, I do work, but it may take an hour or two, but I will get back to you, I promise.
Awesome.
I answer all my messages. And I thank you all. Ebony, I'd also like to ask you another question. No other moms. What is that?
It's a support group. So they do like virtual I guess like virtual meetings where
Okay.
instead of going in person and talking about whatever the topic is, they're all moms that have lost, children to gun
Yes.
violence.
Okay.
They come together online. Yeah.
Oh, all right. All right.
And now that you mentioned that, yeah, you mentioned that too. I mean, you just reminded me that I think that's what I was about to say. So I also started a virtual. I'm going to do it just starting maybe once a month to see how it goes, because we do have a lot of members that are not ready to talk like here on a platform or even on the phone. So I have actually started this thing with Google Meet once a month for now, and of course if it gets bigger we'll do it twice a month, where it's called a virtual check-in, and that's where my members and we get together through Google Meet and we just chat, we just check in with one another. Of course you have to sign up for it, so it's not going to be live, it's just going to be us. So my group members, remember that there's a post on there for that as well. Either hit the like button or put a comment on there if you'd like to do that. I think I've had 1 or 2 already respond, because I'd like to start that next month, where we'll just do a virtual check-in once a month, and just kind of talk with one another. If you have questions, if you need anything. So we'll be doing that as well.
And I gotta say that's extremely helpful. I do that with Mobile Moms as well. And,
yeah, I joined one.
And they appreciate it, because you have some that are not in the area that can't come in person to the in-person event. So
exactly,
is definitely a way to kind of, and then there's a way where the moms get to know one another.
Right. So Ebony, do you have anything that you want to share? We have it's 7:00 if you want to share anything.
I enjoyed being on the platform with you again. Thank you for having me. I have enjoyed learning about Mobile Moms, and Deborah learning about what you guys are doing. Continue, to do the good work that you're doing.
Thank
As always, I love to connect people. Like I said, I'm big on collaboration. It's bigger than me. And you will get a lot further, when you take yourself out of the equation. So in any way that I can help, even you, Amina, with your group, I would be glad to do a virtual workshop or whatever. At the end of the day,
Thank you so
I'm
much.
here for all those that have experienced a loss. Although I have not lost a children, I don't have children. I can still speak to and I work with widows. I always tell people, if you're comfortable, I'm comfortable. If you're not comfortable, I can probably find
Right.
somebody. I'm not trying to be the person that's like, oh, I do this and I do that. But I do have clients that are widows. I do have clients that have lost children. I do have people like me who've lost a mom, or a dad.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm just here to support in any way that I can. If you guys want to connect, my Facebook and Instagram is Can I Grieve? And then you can share my email with these wonderful young ladies.
Absolutely.
So that we can talk more offline and all come back together soon.
Sounds good. I'm excited about that. Well, ladies, thank you so much again for joining. I'm looking forward to bigger and better things with all of you. I'm looking to learn things from you guys. One of the things I think, Ebony, I do want to speak to you about, I think we had touched on this, is how to start a nonprofit. I really need to dig into that. Completely new to me from scratch. So I could use all the help I can get as far as how to do that. And I think, Tahita, I think you and I don't know, I think we talked about that once before too as well, correct?
I absolutely.
Okay.
I'm not sure if Ebony, if you have courses on it, but how I got started is my nonprofit leader, her name is Chanel Cashmore. She has a course, a 7-week course, which is called Nonprofit for Newbies. And she'll take you from the EIN to, getting your 501c tax exemption. She does it all. So I'm not sure if Ebony, if you already offer that, then, by all means, you already are connected. But additional layer of support as well is Chanel has both the Nonprofit for Newbies course. So she sets you up with everything through her 7-week course, and it's online. She also does a grant writing class as well. So
Awesome.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, it is now 7:03, guys. I'm so sorry. This was awesome. Again, I appreciate everybody. And it's after 7, so we're going to go ahead and close out for now. Don't forget, next week, join us and show your support for Tanya Manley, one of our very own group members. She will be speaking on the loss of 2 of her sons. And then the following week, we have another group member, Bobby Fernandez, who also lost a son. So tune in. If you guys have any moms that have lost a son or a daughter, especially, through gun violence, please send them my way. Okay. All right, ladies. It was a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone. Well, lovely people, we are signing off. I hope you enjoyed our episode this week. Be sure to tune in next Sunday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And remember, no matter how old or how young, our children will forever be our babies. We just have one with wings. Be gentle with yourself and take all the time you need to heal. Thanks for joining. Good night. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining. Mwah.